Yeah. What you say, man? It's Beast Boxing Basement, the Triple B, and he's here for the funds as usual. I'm sorry I'm uploading less. There's in real life stuff going on. Boxing's been a bit dry, but we got a good fight this weekend. In terms of action, and that's Derek Doughboy, Chisora, Chorizo, vs the Jugger Bum, Joe Joyce. Um, and you know what? Chisora, out of I can't think of anyone who's had that many losses. What is it, 15? Who has earned that much money? But good on him, by the way. I'm not hating on that. Great. And it's because he's a character. And characters good for boxing, they make it interesting. Same with MMA, same with WWE, even if it's fake, a character will bring in views. I don't necessarily. He could be a bit weird, He told Vitaly Klitschko that he swung both ways, and didn't mind being with men, and then he had some kind of relationship. The insinuation was that it was physical. It was bate business with David Gay, and obviously I don't approve of that kind of behavior, degeneracy. Immorality. And from the beginning, Chisora's, I don't know, he's got this thing now. He's a bit punchy now. He's slowed down. If you noticed, right, he speaks way slower, and his mind takes time to engage. When he's asked a question, it takes about 3 seconds for him to engage because he's punch drunk. He's had a lot of beatings. And I don't take any pleasure in that. And I think fighters, it's a dangerous game, boxing. I think fighters should be encouraged, right, to retire at the right time when they have their faculties. Guys like Lennox Lewis, Nazim Hamed, Rocky Marciano. These are all guys that retired in their 30s and they had their marbles. Obviously, Marciano died, but what I mean, these guys had their marbles. Was unfortunately guys like Muhammad Ali, was demented. And Chisora, I don't know. He's got this new thing. He calls everyone in Joe Joyce's camp a posse. A posse. Now, I mean, I don't really know why he goes for that, right? Joe Joyce obviously a very likable guy, and has character. He's not the best talker, but he has his own character, which is, a very laid back, decent guy who doesn't get rattled. Usually, when people rinse him, but he kept on calling Joe Joyce's team, they're posses. I don't know why I decided to go for him. What's Joe Joyce's manager's something Morali, Adam Morali or something, and he's a bit fruity, but I don't know. I mean, it's a weird one to go for his team, and to say, Joe, you're not built for this. Well, he obviously is built for this, Joe Joyce. He got robbed of a silver medal against Tony Egg Yoka, right? He should have got the gold medal, which is a great achievement. He's lost twice to the same guy, Big Bang Jilly John. Yeah, but he's obviously built for it, man. He's tough. Yeah, I don't, it's cringe. The old everybody he took right. Mike Tyson used to say, right, everyone got a plan till they get punched in the face, and Joe Joyce, kind of stole that line and said, everyone got a plan until they punched me in the face and nothing happened. And then he got smashed up by the Big Bang. So that doesn't hold water anymore. Derek Chorizo has said, he's going to get a Chinese for Joe Joyce, not a Five Guys. I don't know what kind of salary he's on. He's obviously, he's obviously got a promotional agreement with Five Guys. He always brings it in, don't he, for his opponents afterwards, including Tyson Fury, who's battered him like 3 times now. Because I'm going to go 5 guys for Joe Joyce. I'm going to get Chinese, and he's mocking Chinaman. He was mocking Chinaman, saying Chisora was like going, you let a Chinese guy beat you. Chinese guys are whack. They've never won heavyweight championship. I mean, there's a number of reasons for that. Chinese people are not known to be that big, but there's 1.5 billion of them, and you will get guys like Yao Ming and the Big Bang. And there's a part of China where you get tall guys. So, and it's not really it's not been a sport in China, boxing really. They have had a few guys and win medals, but it's not something they're obsessed with. I don't think Chinese people are that obsessed with sport. They're more obsessed with gambling. But he was mocking Derek Chisora in the press conference. He was mocking Joe Joyce for getting knocked out by a Chinaman. He wouldn't let it go. And, Joe Joyce was saying, hang on, man, Zhang would spin you ahead. Joyce has got slightly better at speaking. Some people say he's had a little bit of coaching, which is fine. I mean, it's not different. What? You don't think Anthony Gay J Joshua has had, has been for hours of press management, teaching him how to deal with the press. But Chisora, he's definitely slower than before, right? He seems a lot slower. It takes him a few seconds for a sentence to come into his head, right? And to log it and then make it come back. Maybe 5 seconds, right? And bizarrely, he was laughing at Joe Joyce saying, Zhang got beaten by the Australian guy, what's his name? Parker, right? And he's mocking the fact that Zhang, who'd stopped Joe Joyce twice, right, got beat by Parker, which is very bizarre because obviously, okay, what's his name? Parker beat Chisora. Was it twice? I think he beat him twice. So what? Why would Chisora be bragging on Joe Parker beating Zhang when he got beat himself? It's very weird. I think he's punchy, man. He's really punch drunk. But he's always, like I said, he's always good value. Chisora, he's good value. I hope his brain can be saved. I don't know, what is he, 40 now? He doesn't mind speaking his own mind, and I have to respect guys like that, that won't be pulled into you've always got to say the safe thing, you got to do this, can't say this, he don't mind, Chisora, and he goes, you can't believe you got beat by a Chinaman. And what did he do? He called Dev Sani, Frank Warren's little biatch boy. I don't mind Dev Sani, to be honest with you. I think he's all right, But he got some stick. And he called Dev Sani a weasel. Because Dev Sani brought up some post that Zhang had put up about backing Joe Joyce to knock out Chisora. So he hadn't heard that, Chisora. Chisora was like, what? He goes, you're a weasel for saying that to me. Derek did his usual thing. He started talking about how him and Zhang, sorry, it's not Zhang, Joe Joyce after the fight should eat and then they should smoke some weed together. And Joe was like, no, I'm not into that. And, that's cool, man. Weed's a strange substance, man. You definitely should stay away from drugs. Believe me, I know. What did he say? Yeah, after the press conference, they had a face down, and you got to be frank. Joe Joyce looks so much bigger than him. Chisora's wearing this like bowler hat, like the guy in the James Bond films. What's he called? Odd Job. But when he heard from Dev Sani that Zhang had slated him, he goes, oh, I don't care about what that dumpling eating motherfucker said. He goes, he's going to get it as well. So, like I said, I like Chisora. He'll speak his mind. He don't care. Yeah, he's punch drunk. He'll probably be talking to lampposts and blowing bubbles in a few years. But that's his choice, bro. And he's made a lot of money out of boxing for not I'm not saying he's untalented, but for not a huge amount of talent. Why? Because his mouth. And I've enjoyed it. I go from being a fan of Chisora to thinking, oh, you're getting on my tits, blood. But I believe, right, despite the fact that the jugger bum, Joe Joyce, has only got 2 losses compared to Chisora's, 15 losses. He's fresher, Joyce, even though they're a similar age. However, his chin might have been cracked by the Big Bang because that was one of the most vicious knockouts. When the Big Bang landed that hook and dropped the jugger bum. And by the way, I used to call him the jugger Chad, because he was solid. He's decent, he hadn't been dropped. But after the Zhang defeats, you got to call him the jugger bum. You got to call him the jugger bum. And you can't, right, even if you beat Chisora, you can't become a Chad by beating a bum. And Chisora is a bum now. He is a bum. He's aged. He's 40. He's punch drunk. But frankly, I got to be honest, I'm looking forward to the fight. When you got 2 big heavyweights, you can punch. And the heavyweights are the kings. I said that again and again. It don't matter about your Floyd Mayweather or your son Edwards, Oh, they're pound for pound. It doesn't matter, man. Put them in the ring against these heavyweights. See what happens. Weight divisions exist so that the people that are not that big can have a career. And that's all it is. If boxing was pure, there wouldn't be weight divisions. All right? And no one would have heard of Son Edwards. No one would have heard of Floyd Mayweather. No one would have heard. Maybe a guy like Andre Ward, light heavyweight, could move up, but they're still pushing up against big men. Okay? And I don't mind weight divisions, but pound for pound is gear. But yeah, I think the jugger bum will win. Chisora's shot. He's always going to be game, Chisora. He's always going to be game. But eventually things crack. Maybe he might quit. He's already... Right, the point is, when you get a fighter and there's something like, you know what, this might be my last fight. This will be my last fight. The old two... When someone's already planning about their retirement, right, and that's included De La Hoya, Miguel Cotto, people like that, they lose their next fight. So the jugger bum should win. I have him between rounds 6 and 8. He didn't look that impressive against Kash Ali. He stopped him in 10, but he didn't look that great. It might come earlier. But I believe Chisora will get a beatdown. Joe Joyce is bigger. I believe he hits harder. He's fresher, right? He's got to be fresher, because he's had 3 times less fights than Derek Chisora. So, I'm looking forward to it. Why? Because my life is empty. But seeing a good heavyweight fight trumps every sporting event. So I think the jugger bum will beat Del Boy. As I say, between 6 and 8 is my prediction. And you're always buzzed for a heavyweight fight. It doesn't matter who's on the card. There's some good fights. It's Brit slot, but there's some decent fights, to be honest. I'll go through them in another video. But, you can't line up guys like Dennis McCann, Royce and Barney, and say, you guys, right, are just as good as Joe Joyce and Chisora, because it's like, well, get in the ring with them. You'll be smashed, obviously. There's only one king division, and that's the heavyweights. But I'm looking forward to the fight. I look forward to the weigh-in. Chisora didn't look out of shape. I think they'll both be in good shape. These days, most people seem to get into shape. But yeah, I see a crude Joe Joyce. He can't change his style. He tried to change his style for Jang 2, and he couldn't. So he's never going to change his style. But he will, his thudding, if slow punches. Chisora might have some moments in the early rounds, but the Jugger Bum's thudding, if slow punches will take their toll, and they will put a punch-drunk Chisora hopefully into retirement. And that's for his own sake, by the way. I'm not being a hater. That's for his own sake, man. You made money, man. Just retire, blood. Retire, blood. Peace in the Middle East.